background. So, all right. So we're supposed to find the domain using interval notation. So what is domain again? X's or Y's? This is the X's. Okay. So we know we've got to do the X direction. Okay. If it was me, remember when you can annotate on there, right? Remember how we practiced on Friday, the annotation little tool? Okay. I had that open on the quiz. So you could have scribbled on the graph. Remember how I always do this on the graph and I try to figure out what my X values are? I had people getting all kinds of crazy numbers. I'm like, I don't even know where they came from, numbers. Okay. So you got to be really careful. Okay. What X value did we start with here? On this one, on item 1. -3. Where did it end? 2. You could have dragged those in there and then worried about the other part. Okay. All right. Should my -3 be? Is it open or closed? Closed. We're doing interval? Are we doing inequalities or are we doing parentheses and brackets? Okay. So for a closed, do I need a parenthesis or a bracket? Bracket. All right. What about at 2? Is it open or closed? Open. Parentheses or bracket? Okay, take a minute and write down what you did wrong. Okay, what you need to fix that you mixed up. Yeah. We'll go right to those. Yeah, because this is the one we just did, domain. Okay, this said range. So that was wrong. Okay. You guys need to really so if you missed the fact that one of them there were 2 questions that looked like they had that graph, right? One of them said it was domain and one of them said it was range. You had to be careful and make sure you were doing the right thing. Okay. All right, I'll give you about 30 more seconds to write down what you did wrong and need to fix. Okay. Because your item 1, that one might not have been your item 1. It might have been your item 4. Yeah. Well, just do the problem. Okay. If you need to write a note to yourself on something you think you might need to remember, write that. Yeah, because one of them was, how are you doing today, right? Okay. All right, I'll be around in another second. Let's go to the next problem. Okay, if you still got a question, I'll walk around it again in a minute. All right. Item 2. It very clearly and boldly says we are finding the what? Range. You need to make sure you're doing the right one. So make sure you found the problem. It might be your item 1. Mine says item 2. Okay? Because I make sure it scrambles it so not everybody's doing the same problem at the same time. Okay? All right. So it says range. What is the range? X's or Y's? Y's. Good. Okay. What am I doing? Am I doing inequalities or parentheses and brackets? Parentheses and brackets. What means parentheses and brackets? What word? Interval. When I see interval, I'm doing parentheses and brackets. Okay. I got to do Y values, which means I'm starting at the bottom of the graph. So I'm going here to here. Okay. All right. What is my smallest Y value? -5. What is my biggest Y value? 2. Okay. Is my -5 open or closed? Open. Okay. So should I have a parentheses or a bracket? Parentheses. All right. My highest Y value, is it open or closed? Closed. I've got a solid there, right? So it's closed. So am I going to do a parentheses or a bracket? Bracket. Okay. All right. Write down what happened. Why did you get it wrong? What did you mix up? Okay. Take a minute and do that. I know some of you don't need to, but everybody needs to do that. Yeah. So you didn't get the answer. Yes. Mhm. Okay. Remember on this, you cannot mix up the numbers. They have to be in the right order. Okay. Let's look at the next one. Okay, so find the one that looks like that. It was the graph that was aligned, but it says domain. So find yours. You can make sure you're looking at the right problem. Take a couple seconds, scroll that one onto your screen. Okay. All right. It says domain. What does domain mean? Say it again, everybody. What does domain mean? I wasn't everybody. What does domain mean? X. I was a little bit better. Okay, X. Notice I have 5 spots, right? That means I'm going to plop that X in the middle spot. Okay. So you should have had a little bit of a clue in the way you needed the answer, right? Whether you needed that X in there or not, because it only has 4 if you don't put the X in. Most of us had that part down when I scrolled through a few of them. Okay. All right. Inequality. So do I use parentheses or brackets or less thans? Less thans. Okay. And remember, look at what I did. I snuck that one in there. Are you ever going to use this symbol or this symbol? No, but I put them in there on purpose, right? To make sure you were paying attention. If I just put less thans, then everybody would have gotten it right? I had a few people not use the less thans and use the greater thans. Okay, but it's always less thans. All right, domain, we're using our smallest X value. What's my smallest X value? And that goes in the outermost spot, -4. Okay. Might as well do the less than sign. So is it less than or equal to? Why is it less than? It's open, so I'm just going to use a less than symbol. Okay. All right. What's my biggest X value? Remember, we're talking about going to the right. Say it again. I had a few people. It's infinity. I had some people put negative infinity. You have to watch what you're doing, okay? You cannot let your brain trick you with the picture, okay? Isn't negative infinity smaller than -4? Yeah. Okay, so remember, when we're in X, we're talking about that arrow is going to the right. It's not going down, it's going to the right. And I know that's hard. Okay, it's hard to visualize that, but that's the thing you have to put on that thinking when you're doing a domain. Okay. All right. When I have an arrow, does that mean open or closed? Open. So am I doing less than or equal to? Less than. Okay, take a minute, write down why did you get that wrong? Okay. What do you need to do to fix it? Explain it right there on the page. Okay, let's look at the last one. Then we're going to move on to today's stuff. Or the next part of today's stuff. Got a lot for us to do today. All right. So the last one on there should be item 4. There's actually technically 5 items, right? So my 5th item, I'm always going to ask how you're doing today, and it gives you you just give me a smiley face rating. The reason I do that It's because then it doesn't spit your auto grade score out, and it gives me an opportunity to go look at it in case there's something I mess up on or I need to hand grade. And then you don't go home on Friday going, I got a 2 when you really got a 4 or you got a 3. Okay. So I usually put that question in there. Sometimes I forget, but that's why that question is there. And it could come up as any one of the questions, right? Because I scramble it. So it's just so that it won't auto grade. And that's easy to auto grade or to hand grade that one question. All right. Define the range. What is range? The X's or the Y's? Okay, I want to hear everybody. What's range? X's or the Y's? Okay, good. So I'm looking at Y's, which means I'm just going to, that's 5 spots. I'm going to put a Y in there. Okay. All right, I got to look for my Y, smallest Y value, which means now I am going up and down. I'm thinking about those numbers. So what's the smallest number for the arrow? This time it would be negative infinity because we're thinking about it being low to the ground, not in the positive direction, in the negative direction. All right, whenever I have the arrow, is that open or closed? Open, so less than or equal to? Less than, good. Okay, my highest Y value is what? 3. Open or closed, everybody? Open, there's an open dot. Okay, less than or equal to? Less than, good. Okay, take another minute. Write down what you did wrong. What do you need to fix? Okay.